Well, after 5 weeks, we finally got the Street Glide back. It's ready to rock. Let's take a drive.
Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. As you can see, we finally got the Street Glide back. After Harley Davidson of Orange County having it for 5 weeks. Yes, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 weeks. We finally have it back, and I'm so glad to have it back. The funny thing of it is, I gotta get over. The funny thing of it is who would have ever thought that out of the 3 motorcycles I have in my garage, the 2021 Harley Davidson Street Glide Special, the 2021 Harley Davidson Pan America Special, and the 2021 Ducati V4S, that the Ducati would actually be the most reliable motorcycle in my garage. Look, people are talking all the time. Ducatis are great bikes, don't get me wrong, but you would certainly, I mean, out of all those motorcycles, you would not think that the Ducati would be the one that has stood the test of time and is continuing to run with absolutely no issues whatsoever. So I'm so glad to have this motorcycle back, but let me tell you what happened here. So this is kind of strange. If you can't see, all the street lights are out, so you kind of got to be careful with all these crazy Southern California drivers. No offense against anybody. So I had been driving the Street Glide a lot, and went out. I had taken it in, gotten the service done, and I think it was the 2,500 mile service or something like that. I had just taken the bike in, gotten the service done. So I get the bike back from service. I rode it one time, and I didn't even ride it that far, but you know, maybe 10, 12 miles, 20 miles round trip, something like that. I think I went to get coffee. And then the next day I went to ride it, and I came out and I noticed there was a bunch of fluid on my garage floor. And I wasn't sure if it was engine oil, if it was transmission fluid, whatever it was. And look, those of you that own Harleys know, Harley leaking fluids is par for the course. So it's always going to happen. I didn't think anything serious of it, so I just let that go, and I decided not to ride. I rode the Pan America that day, and so I come out the next day, there's even more. So I get down on my hands and knees, I'm looking around the case, and I'm like, I just got this back from service, wonder what happened. So there were bolts that were loose on the case, so I got out my wrench set, tightened all the bolts, and thought, okay, I'll check it again tomorrow. Cleaned up all the fluid on the garage floor, and I thought I'll come back tomorrow and I'll check it and I'll see where the fluids are, if it's still leaking, anything like that. And then I'll start the bike up, let it warm up, and then check the fluids. Because, you know, you're supposed to check the fluids when car, motorcycle, whatever's warm. So the next day I come out, there are no longer any fluids on the floor, which I thought, okay, they just didn't tighten up the case, the bolts on the case well enough. So I had my wrenches, I took care of it, problem solved. I was like, all right, let's start it up and get it warm so I can check all the fluids. I turn it on, and it sounds like there are like pea gravel in the engine. It's just, it is the most horrible sound I've ever heard in my life. Now, mind you, it was not making that noise the day that I came back from the ride that I took. It was not making any noise, wasn't riding any different. This is the first time I've started it up since. So I started it up, and like I said, sound like pea gravel and sandpaper rubbing together on the inside. And I was like, oh my God, man, this is just, what is going on? So I couldn't even let it warm up enough to check the fluids, what I felt was like really doing a good job of checking the fluids. So I went ahead and checked them, you know, cold, if you will, and the engine oil was not low, the transmission fluid was not low. So I don't know what the fluid was, but I also knew that I knew something was wrong. but I didn't feel comfortable driving it to the Harley Davidson dealership, so I called them, and they offered the service. Well, they'll come get your bike. So about 3 days later, they came and picked up the bike. I kept calling every 4 or 5 days going, hey guys, can I get an update? You know, what's going on with my bike? You know, what's the problem? We haven't gotten to it yet. We're short on text. We haven't gotten to it yet, but you know, we will. Sorry, Mr. Freeman, sorry for the inconvenience. Blah, 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 blah. This goes on for 3 or 4 weeks. And finally I get to the point where I'm not trying to be an asshole, but you know, I think I got to the point where most people would get it. Look, it's been a month and you can't even tell me what's wrong with my bike because you haven't even taken a look at it yet. Then the guy on the phone tells me, oh, it's because you didn't make an appointment. And I'm like, make an appointment? I called you and told you the problem with the bike. You came and got the bike. I didn't realize I needed to make an appointment. So could we chalk, I guess maybe we could chalk that up to a difference in opinion or a lack of communication on somebody's part. So finally they get to the bike, 5.5 weeks. Just the other day, a couple days ago, I go and I pick up the motorcycle. Now get this, I walk in, this is a 2021 Harley Davidson Street Glide Special. It's only got, what, 3,215 miles on it. And I have the, whatever it is, the longest term, 7-year, 10-year, whatever it is, ESP on top of the manufacturer's warranty from being a new bike. He starts telling me about the problem, and from what I remember, what I think he said the problem was, there was some cam lift lever support that had come loose and what he said disintegrated inside the case. So that was the whole problem they had to fix. I am not mechanically inclined whatsoever, so I have no idea what that means. But the bike's fixed and it runs fine. So he's running over that and he goes, all right, well, let me give you this and get you to sign right here. And he hands me the thing. And they hand me a bill for $1,683 and some change. And I looked at the guy and I looked down at the bill and I looked back up at him and I'm like, he goes, we get that settled and we can get you out of here. I said, hold on just a second. This is a brand new motorcycle under warranty, plus I have the ESP. Worst case scenario, if this wasn't covered by a manufacturer's warranty, which I knew that it was, I said, I have the ESP, I would just pay my $50 deductible and we would be gone. He goes, huh, yeah, that's interesting. Let me go check. And I'm sitting here, I'm going, we both know, this is a Harley Davidson dealership. We both know this bike is still under warranty and it's still covered. So, and I'm starting to get agitated at this point. He comes back, he goes, oh yeah, you know, when I saw that, I thought that was a little strange as well. So let me fix it for you. They zeroed it out in the computer system and off I go. Now, here's where I feel like I need to say something. And I don't think it was the guy that was, you know, checking me out whatsoever, because he doesn't make any decisions or anything like that. However, there are a lot of people in this world that just do not like confrontation. Like and I'm not saying anything negative or derogatory or mean about those people. They just do not like confrontation. How many people do you think have been or are in my shoes with a bike they take in for service or a warranty repair problem, something, and they would have stepped up to the counter, seen the $1,600, and to avoid confrontation, just paid the money. Now, look, we can say or think whatever, it was an honest mistake, sure. Let's chalk it up to probably an honest mistake. But you guys know as well as I do, there are people that avoid confrontation at all levels, and they would have just paid the money. And then I got to thinking, how many people potentially could you be doing that to, that, you know, you try to get one over on somebody. If they don't give you any resistance, they hand you a credit card. Wow, the dealership just made that much more money. So, and maybe it's just me, because I've also got the Pan America who will not start right now. And I don't want to take it to that dealership. I don't want to be without it for another 5.5 weeks, because that's the only thing I have to go on. So needless to say, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I love this motorcycle. I love my Pan America. But I'm not exactly a really big, huge fan of Harley Davidson right now. I don't know what's going on. I mean, you can look at the numbers, a lot of videos online. a lot of stuff you can read. That's, a lot of people say that the Pan America has actually saved Harley Davidson. Their sales have been going down radically for like the last 6 to 8 years, and the Pan America came along and kind of revived their sales and what was going on. So I don't know. I've always been a huge believer in the Harley Davidson brand, American made, the whole thing. Love it. I love this motorcycle. It's comfortable to ride. But I gotta say, this whole experience has just, and look, it could be this one dealership. And after you guys have heard the story, I'd be anxious to see what you guys think about this. That, you know, I think I handled it the right way. I was certainly not going to pay the $1,600 because I knew that it was under warranty. But I think also that having the bike for over 5 weeks before even getting to the motorcycle to fix it, that's probably a dealership level problem. And this dealership just got bought out, I don't know, maybe a year ago, so it's under new ownership, new management. You know, a lot of excuses could be made, but the fact of the matter is, do you remember years ago, those of you that are my age, late 40s, early 50s, when you would go buy a Harley Davidson, it was all about service. They were extremely nice. They weren't pushy in the sales department. They knew the product they were selling would stand the test of time. It was the best motorcycle you could buy. It was made in America. It was taken care of, and you were treated that way. It just doesn't feel that way anymore. And I know a lot of it could just be the product of the society that we live in. It just doesn't feel like that brand on a mountaintop anymore, or like they're even trying to have an excellence in customer service anymore. It's like, come in, you know, give us your money, we'll sell you a bike, and off you go. And it just kind of feels that way. But then again, it's probably not just motorcycles, it's probably everything. It's very few places and things do you go do anymore where you work hard, you earn money, and you go spend it, and the people you're spending it with make you feel like it was actually worth all the hard work that you put into it. But anyway, maybe that's enough of my bitching, but I wanted to give you guys the story. I'm looking forward to riding this. Matter of fact, we're in beautiful downtown San Clemente, California right now. One of my favorite spots. We'll take you down and show you the view from the pier. It's to me, it's one of the coolest, prettiest spots anywhere I've been in the world. But I am going to ride this coming up with one of the next videos that we've got as Josh sees it and myself. We're going to the LA Auto Show. And we're going to film the whole trip. Of course, we're going to use the GoPros for, you know, the action stuff on camera. But I'm also going to take one of the cinema cameras, and we're going to capture some really, really good footage. So stay tuned for that. And then I've also got another video coming out that I really want to compare and contrast the GoPro Hero 11 and the DJI Osmo Action 3. I've been spending a little bit of time with both of these cameras, and I've definitely got my thoughts on, you know, if you're going to be moto vlogging or action sports or anything like that, which one that you should have, or maybe both. But I've got that video coming as well, so look forward to that one. That being said, guys, if you want to make sure that you catch all of the content that we're putting out, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, make sure you like the video, you leave a comment, you hit the bell notification icon so that you are notified, hopefully, when I upload a new video, which I'm trying to get better, trying to do a little bit more. And now that Pan America won't start, but within the next month, I'm going to have all 3 bikes up and running. I've already got several videos planned out for the Ducati V4S, for the Pan America. We're going to do some off-road stuff, and then some longer range trips here on the Street Glide. So make sure you're subscribed and you like the video. And any ideas that you guys have for videos, places you'd like to see us go here in Southern California, rides you'd like to see, I'm more than happy to accommodate and do that. More than anything, I'm just really looking forward to having all 3 of my motorcycles back and running again. Check out this view. It's a little cloudy today. reasons to love living in Southern California. It's just absolutely beautiful. Coming from the South, living in Nashville for so many years, one of the things you do, you kind of miss the seasons a little bit. Like especially now, here it is the week before Thanksgiving, and I'm sitting here riding in a t-shirt with no gloves on just because it's actually pretty warm here today. Lots of little shops up and down, restaurants. One of my favorite places, those of you that know me well or followed for a while know that I'm an absolute sneakerhead. Right here, the Wicker Bee on my right is a place that I get a lot of really hard to find Nikes and Air Jordans and Air Force Ones, a lot of the special editions that are hard to find. The only bad thing about coming down here though is this, it's just stop and go, stop and go. However, it's not as bad on the Street Glide, I can tell you that. I love the V4S, but it is not comfortable. Pan America, strikingly, I actually can't, is quite comfortable. Is it anywhere on the level of the Street Glide comfortable? No, but for an adventure bike, it is extremely comfortable. I don't mind riding it long rides at all. Matter of fact, going to the LA Auto Show this weekend, if the Pan America would start, I would probably ride the Pan America. I think Josh is going to take his GS. But since the Pan America won't start, I'll be taking the Street Glide. I'll tell you one thing, since I've really been getting into riding my motorcycles more and the motovlogging and all of that, I have really found some great content on YouTube. A lot of great, knowledgeable guys and girls out there making amazing content, motovlogging and doing some things like that. Some channels that I found that I just really, really enjoy. I watch a lot of Fast Lane Gang, and She Rides Motos. Who else? 650 Ebe. IMK, of course. We've done a couple rides with K. That's always a super hyper bike thing, so we always ride the Ducati V4S when we're doing that kind of thing. But and I know I'm leaving a ton of people out here, but if there are some channels that you guys really like to watch in the moto world, be sure and drop their channel name, tag them. Now that we can do that, tag them in the comments. I want to try to find as many different kind of moto content creators as I can to follow and start watching their content. That's the one thing I've always loved, even before YouTube, before Instagram, before social media. The motorcycle community has always been such an amazing and welcoming community, and even now on social media I see everybody support each other. Like my buddy, as Josh sees it, you need to go make sure you subscribe to his channel. I'll put a link down in the description below. Luke A. Shoots is another one of our friends. He makes some amazing content on camping and moto adventure stuff, and even beyond that, just doing a lot of the overlanding type stuff. I think you'd really dig his channel as well. I'll put a link to both of those guys in the description down below. But if you watch somebody religiously, you really like their content, be sure to tag them in the comments, because I'd like to check their content out. One of the other things I want to throw out there is, even though we just picked up the Ducati V4S, I've always got my eyes open trying to decide what the next bike might be. Because now we've got the bagger covered with the Street Glide, we've got the super bike covered with the Ducati V4S, and we've got the adventure bike covered with the Pan America. So what possibly could be next? What kind of style of bike? Do we get another super bike? Do we get another adventure type bike? I really do like that new, what is it, Desert X that Ducati is putting out. Saw them at the dealership the other day, and they were super, super nice. really, really, really meant for off-road, even more so than like the Pan America or the GS or even the Ducati Multistrada. I mean, it is a true off-road, more dirt bike setup oriented. But that being said, I can't say too much right now, but there may be some very, very, very big changes coming in me and my family's life in the next few weeks. And like I said, that's about all I can say about it right now. I can say some of the TV and film projects that I've been working on are going extremely well, and there's another one that's about to kick off that will probably lead to some major changes. So I will definitely keep you guys in the loop on what's going on there. Guys, that's gonna about do it for this video. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel down there. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, let YouTube know you like the content and you want to be notified whenever we upload a new video. Don't forget, coming up, next couple of videos, LA Auto Show. We're going to be taking a couple of our bikes up to the LA Auto Show, checking that out. Plus, we've got a really cool video coming on the comparison between the GoPro Hero 11 Black and the new DJI Osmo Action 3. Which one is best for motovlogging? I'm going to tell you for sure. Again, thanks guys for being here. We'll see you in the next one.